guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. For this video, I wanted to feature some Mary Kay products. These are my current favorites, and I just wanted to show you guys a little bit on how to use them and just show exactly how to put them on your face and how exactly they work. So as I go through my makeup look today, I'm just going to highlight the few products that I use before, during, or after my makeup look. So if you are interested, then please keep watching. So if I know for sure that I'm going to be applying a ton of makeup, if I have an event or anything special where I'm putting on a lot of makeup on my face, I want to make sure that my face has a clean palette. So the night before, I will usually use this Microdermabrasion set. So step one is the refining part. This is the actual exfoliator. So you'll just use, again, a dime size, maybe a little bit less or a little bit more, depending on how much of your face you want to cover. I usually just cover the parts of my face that are just troublesome. I usually get it just dry areas around this part of my nose, which is very common for women, and then I will also get it on my chin and a little bit on my forehead. So it's kind of like the typical T-zone, and that's where I will use this exfoliator the most. Then once I finish that, I will go in with step two, which is replenish, and that basically just goes all over my face. Again, just a dime size amount, which is pretty much like a pump and a half. So I'll just let that dry, and then once that's all dry, I will use the age fighting moisturizer, and this has an SPF of 30. I will usually just use this at night and then just sleep with just that on my face. But this can also be used as a primer, so a lot of times I will put this underneath my makeup, and then I'll also use one of the Mary Kay foundation primers. But if you don't have access to that right away, you can just use this and it'll work just as well. So I'm going to go in with that age fighting moisturizer on my face, and again, this is from the TimeWise collection. I'm using about that much, which is about a dime size, just rubbing it between my fingers and then just applying it all over my face. I also like to go in upward motion because you never want to go down. It's going to pull your face down, and of course, as you get older, gravity is so not on your side. So I usually just go up and out. Then I usually let that dry and set on my face for just about under a minute, just so that that really gets into my skin, just so that that keeps my skin moisturized underneath all my makeup. As mentioned, this could be the only primer that you use on your face and your skin can still come out flawless and it'll still look great. But I like to use this foundation primer. I usually use foundation. Once in a blue, I will use like a CC cream, but I personally like foundation. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this and just put this along those areas that I said before are just a little bit troublesome for me. So I'm going to put this on my chin, put this along my nose and on the sides of my nose, a little bit underneath my eyes and on the very bottom. Then I'm also going to put a little bit at the center of my forehead and in between my eyebrows as well, because I usually get dry there too. So once I have on my foundation or my CC cream, I like to use this facial highlighting pen from Mary Kay. And this is really cute because it actually has a brush within it. So you don't have to worry about it getting like messy or anything, or using like any other tools to apply it. You just twist the very bottom and then it will come out. As you can see, it'll come out of the tip. So I like to take a little bit just on the brush, and then I'm going to apply it to the bridge of my nose, my Cupid's bow. Take a little more. And then I like to put a little X on my chin. And then I like to also use some on the very, top of my forehead. So you can blend this in with anything. You can use your fingers, you can use a brush, but I like to use my sponge to just blend everything out. And what this facial highlighting pen does is it highlights the points of your face where light hits naturally. So light will usually hit all the places that I just applied, which is the chin, the cupid's bow, the bridge of the nose, also the very tip of your nose, and the top of your forehead, the center. So the light naturally hits those areas, and then also here, but I'm going to show you later how you can apply just to this area to make your skin glow and pop in the light a little bit more. But this is the step that you're going to take just in the meantime. So when applying your makeup, you're going to want to stick to the rule of all liquids going on your face first and then all powders. You never want to go back and forth between each because it's going to give you a funny look to your makeup. Powders will set into your liquids. So if you use any CC cream or foundation, use that, then use the highlighting pen and any other kind of concealers first, and then afterwards just set everything with powder. That way, if you want to go back on with bronzer just to warm up your face or do a contour on your cheekbone or anything like that, it won't get muddy with your actual liquid foundation. So I'm going to take this translucent loose powder and I'm going to apply this all over my face. So I'm just going to dab a little bit, flick off the excess, and then I'm going to lightly dust my whole face with this. Just want to go on lightly, don't want to apply too much pressure. And this powder again is translucent, so it doesn't change the actual tone of your skin. It will at first go on a little bit white, but as you just keep buffing out, you won't see it at all. So it'll be completely clear on your skin and you won't see any change in color or anything like that. So after I finish doing my brows, I'm gonna go on to my eyes. I've already done some color on my brow bone just to highlight, and then also just above my crease. But then the next step that I always do is I take this Mary Kay cream eye color, and this is in Apricot Twist. I love this shade. It's a nice orangey color and it's like an orangey gold, and it's perfect for fall. So I love using this underneath all of my eyeshadows, and I also a lot of times just use it by itself. So I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm just going to take a whole bunch on the brush, and then I'm going to apply this all over my lid. So you're going to want to try and stay within the area of your lid, so you don't want to go past your crease. You want to keep it all in this area right here and on the lid. You don't want to go up too high. So once that dries a little bit, I'm going to take just a nice gold kind of fall color, and I'm just going to put that right over the area where I put the cream eyeshadow. And as you can see, it's sticking really well onto the eyeshadow. You can also take the opportunity to blend out any harsh edges where the cream eyeshadow stops a little bit abruptly. Now after I conceal the dark circles under my eyes, I will then go in again with the translucent powder, and I'm going to apply it underneath my eyes. This is going to set the concealer underneath your eyes so that during the day your foundation or your CC cream or whatever products you use underneath your eyes, as well as the concealer, doesn't crease. It doesn't matter how young or old you are, that foundation is still going to set into your fine lines. So whether you have a lot or a little bit, it will set throughout the day, and then it'll end up bunching up and creasing just as you make facial expressions, and you know, you may touch your eye or anything like that. So we're just gonna leave that underneath the eyes while we do the rest of our face. So the next thing I like to use is this bronzing powder, and this is in the shade Light Medium. So I'm gonna take this fluffy brush and I'm just gonna wiggle it into the bronzer about 3 times and then tap off the excess. And then I'm going to apply this right into the hollows of my cheek. So you can either tap or you can brush this. And I don't like to go too far close to the mouth because then it just looks really fake. You just want to keep this in the high point of your cheekbone so that it looks like your cheekbone is much higher than it is. So if you're contouring this part of your face, you're going to want to bring warmth into the other areas of your face because everything else can look really flat and then you'll just have this kind of dimension just right here. So you're going to want to go into the temples and just lightly dust that area. And I usually go all around my hairline just because I do have a fairly large forehead. So I like to bring it down just a little bit. And as we use that highlighting pen before, it's going to keep this area still light. So it's not going to make your forehead look very dark unless you go extreme with it. But if you just keep it nice and warm, it'll look fine. Then another trick is to use the bronzer right underneath your jaw. This is going to make your jaw a little more pronounced. So if you don't have a strong jaw, this will make it pop out a little bit more. So you're going to put it right underneath. You don't want to put it up too high because then it's going to cut your face. It's going to make your face look much like smaller here, and that's not exactly what you want to do. You want to keep it right under here. So I'm not sure if you're seeing it too much on camera, but this looks a lot more pronounced than this area. I'm going to just do the same. Then the under eyes by this time should be done. So you can just take a fluffy brush and just softly dust away that excess powder. Then I'm going to go in with the Mary Kay Ultimate Mascara. And I'm going to use that on the top lashes. You want to start from the very root and wiggle outwards. This will make sure that you get every single lash and also makes them more full because you're sort of teasing the bottom and then bringing it out. Now, a lot of people forget the under eye area when they're doing their eye makeup. So with that same eye cream, you can just softly dust the bottom. And you can also bring this into the inner corner and then softly drag it out. Then if you want to make your eyelashes also look full, you can coat the bottom . And this is what it looks like when you just do the very top. So you can do this for a very simple look and very subtle, or you can do the other one when you want it to look more full. And here's what it looks like side by side, just so you can see that this one looks more full and a little bit more finished. And this one looks very subtle, very simple, if you just want to do the top and not the bottom. Now, if you're looking for a sharp contour, which is what I usually do, I will again go in with the translucent powder. I told you I really love it. And again, you can either go in with a brush, or I like to go in with this flat top sponge. So you're going to go into the very bottom of the hollow of your cheek, and you're going to press the powder right under it all the way down to about the corner of your mouth. This is going to keep your contour sharp, and then throughout the day it's going to look sharp instead of buffed out. So this is kind of just the same thing we were doing underneath the eyes. It's going to set this whole area. So we're going to let that bake for a little bit while we do our blush. So I'm going to go in with the Mineral Cheek Color in Sunny Spice. And this is probably one of Mary Kay's best sellers for blush. So I'm just going to take this fluffy brush and just dust it over a couple times, tap off the excess. And then I'm going to put this on the balls of my cheeks and then drag it up. A lot of people will just do the balls of their cheeks, but sometimes that can look a little harsh. And then especially if you're using a color that's maybe a little more vibrant than Sunny Spice, it can look a little bit clownish. And so if you just keep it there as opposed to blending it out further to the higher parts of your face, it's just gonna look a little too harsh by just keeping it there. And also, if you drag it up and you have a face that's round like mine, this is gonna elongate this part of your face. So it's gonna keep your face looking long as opposed to looking round and large like mine. So I think one of the reasons why this is like one of the best sellers is because it is such a subtle color. It doesn't look like too much on the cheeks. It doesn't look like a whole ton of blush. So as you can see, that's what it looks here. And then on the other side, it just looks a bit flat. So typically after this step, I will apply a highlighter, and that goes on the very tops of the cheekbones where the light hits your face the highest point. So I will usually apply it right here. I'll apply it to my brow bone, sometimes around my brow bone, on the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. Mary Kay just came out with 2 luminous shades, and they serve as highlighters. So one of them is called Pearls, and it's like a nice pearlescent candlelit pinky type of tone. So that would go really great with this look. And then the second one is Lace, and that's like a sunny matte coral shade, which would be really beautiful for those kind of like coral glow bronzy looks. So that would be great for fall also. So after I apply the highlighter, I will then just dust off this excess powder. Another thing that I've been loving is this Satin Lips Set, and I will usually, I forgot, but I will usually put it on as I'm doing my face makeup. So I'm just gonna now apply the lip mask. Apply to my lips. And then I'll just let that sit for a little bit. So while that's drying for a second, I just want to talk about 2 other products that I've been using like crazy from Mary Kay. And one of them is the TimeWise Repair. This is the Volu-Firm Eye Renewal. And it has this nice little application tip. So I will usually use that at night, just like 1 or 2 quick little pumps just for it to come out. And then I will apply that to the bottom of my eyes. And then another one I've been loving is this Satin Hands Vanilla Sugar Hand Cream, and I love using this. It smells so good. And so I will just usually use that like at night after I've washed my face and exfoliated and, you know, just kind of pampered myself before bed, and just lather myself up in all of my products. Even if I don't do the Microdermabrasion set that I mentioned earlier, I'll still do the 3-in-1 cleanser, and then I'll do the age fighting moisturizer. So I'll lather myself up in that and then put on this hand lotion, and it just smells so good and it makes my hands really soft. So Then usually after that, like when I'm doing my nighttime routine, then I will use the second part, which is the balm. And this stuff feels amazing. It's so good for those of you who have dry lips, especially in the winter. This stuff is like heaven. I've been using it pretty much every night just because I end up getting like dry lips throughout the night. So this stuff is amazing. So I would so recommend getting this if you are one that you just like really soft, supple lips. So because I went super subtle on the face makeup and the eye makeup, I'm going to go in with this True Dimensions lipstick, which is a nice plum color. It's actually called Mystic Plum. It's a nice satin finish, so I'm going to apply that. So another thing I've been using religiously is the oil-free makeup eye remover. This stuff works so well. I barely use any pressure and everything comes off in just a few quick movements. And I love using this because it's oil-free, so nothing burns, nothing is irritating to the eyes. And no matter how much makeup you have on, no matter how much eyeliner or mascara, everything comes off really, really easily. It's super important not to tug on your eyelids because this area is probably one of the most sensitive areas on your face. You really don't want to irritate that skin there, and I feel like this works perfectly. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoy this little tutorial demonstration type of video, and I hope you guys are willing to try out Mary Kay products. I think they're fantastic. I mean, if you can get this look and it can be a whole lot cheaper than all these like really, really expensive brands that are out now, I think that you guys would be really, really satisfied and really, really happy. If you guys are interested in looking into more products or looking into these products that I featured in this video, then please leave a comment down below. Please get in touch with my beauty consultant. Her name is Rebecca. She is absolutely fantastic. She is great in just giving you just the best advice when it comes to what works for your shade, what works for your skin type. She is a specialist in skincare products. So if you're one that you are looking for any type of moisturizers, any acne treatments, anything that is specifically geared towards your skin, then she is the person to go to. It is the only product that I've used in literally my whole life that I have seen a major difference in my skin. I have tried birth control, I have tried changing my diet, I have tried so many different things to clear up my skin. I started using the skincare products and I used the TimeWise collection. I started using that, I would say, almost a year ago, and my skin has done a complete transformation. So now that it has, I'm able to use makeup like all of this Mary Kay makeup, and it applies so beautifully just because I have the perfect base to go under it. So I would just suggest that you guys take care of your skin first and then move on to putting great makeup on your face. So I would really suggest you get in touch with her, and please let her know that I sent you. Use the promo code Nina. Just let her know that I sent you, and she will give you a 5% off whatever purchase you make. This isn't a sponsored video, so I'm not getting paid to tell you guys this. This is honestly just something that I really believe in. I really want to let people know because I feel like the younger generation just doesn't really know about these products and about Mary Kay the way that maybe the older generation does. And I think it's gonna got that stigma like Clinique and lines like that are used by women that are like in their 40s or in their 50s. And there's a reason why Mary Kay has been around forever, and it's because it works great and it has great results and the makeup is beautiful. So there's a reason why they're around. So I just kind of want to spread the word and let you guys know. So please, if you are interested, please get in touch with Rebecca. Let her know I sent you. Use my promo code, and hopefully you guys like it. And if you do, please please let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I'd love to hear if you guys love it as much as I do. Thank you so much again, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video.